Hello, church, and greetings on this Monday, June 15th, as we continue our journey in Ecclesiastes. We are getting very close to our conclusion. I think maybe another three sessions or devotionals as we're going along. Today we continue in chapter 11. To conclude that portion before transitioning into 12, which is going to be our last chapter. Some neat things. We'll be doing a few verses, some good commentary on those, and it likely in your listening is going to feel like a shift as we come into what Towner argues as a poetic section. In the NRSV, it's done as prose. And he talks a little bit about that. So here we go for verses 7 to 10 of chapter 11. Towner entitles this section, which goes through 12:8 before our concluding portion of chapter 12, Instructions for a Young Person and Conclusion. And we'll talk a little bit about that tomorrow as well. But here's your passage. Light is sweet, and it is pleasant for the eyes to see the sun. Even those who live many years should rejoice in them all. Yet let them remember that the days of darkness will be many. All that comes is vanity. Rejoice, young man, while you are young, and let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth. Follow the inclination of your heart and the desire of your eyes. But know that for all these things, God will bring you into judgment. Banish anxiety from your mind and put away pain from your body, for youth and the dawn of life are vanity. Introductory portion. With the final panel from the hand of the teacher, the book of Ecclesiastes reaches a lyrical climax. Although the NRSV prints 11:7 to 12:8 as prose, a strong case can be made to join the NIV in viewing it as poetry. And indeed, the NRSV is laying it out as verses and stanzas, which is what he's referring to there. With the exception of the concluding verse, the entire section is a lengthy exploration of Kohelet's most positive theme. To be happy in the present moment is the goal of human endeavor, and to be so is the will of God for human beings. Evidently, these words are addressed to Kohelet's student, which is interpreted as young man. Such a young person was also the student of the epilogist, the person writing the epilogue, who uses translated as my child. Even though his listener is young, Kohelet offers him a realistic assessment of the losses and terrors of old age, contrasted with the opportunities that are presented to youth. And then a little line, because he talks about, so that word that occurs frequently throughout Ecclesiastes, vanity, does have some other connotations. And that's one of the pieces that Towner talks about here. The theme word, hebel, or vanity, should be translated here as ephemeral or even fleeting breath, on analogy with Job 7:16 and Psalm 144:4. That makes it clear that verse 10b, the second half of verse 10, is really a motivation for 10a, the first half. The writer is not saying that youth and vigor are meaningless, or that variation on vanity or absurdity, or even that they are vanity, but that they are painfully brief, fleeting. And here is our concluding reflection for today. Except for the marvelously uninhibited affirmation of life and light in 11:7, the remaining verses of chapter 11 moderate their affirmative cries of joy about life and youth with cautionary remarks. Nevertheless, these four verses have an almost defiantly existential quality. Rejoice, Rejoice, follow the inclination of the heart and the desire of the eyes. Banish anxiety and pain. These are the positive recommendations of the teacher. They are motivated not only by the grim realizations that the darkness of death lasts a long time and that youth and vigor are ephemeral, but also by the joyous conviction that God wills that we live life up to the limit. Kohelet's ideal religionist would never be the pale and hollow people that Nietzsche described. Far from moping around in despair, he would have us really live while we are alive. Very good reminders. Here is our the message to finish us off. Peterson wisely entitles this section, "Before the Years Take Their Toll." Oh, how sweet the light of day and how wonderful to live in the sunshine. Even if you live for a long time, don't take a single day for granted. Take delight in each light-filled hour, remembering that there will also be many dark days and that most of what comes your way is smoke. You who are young, make the most of your youth, relish your youthful vigor, follow the impulses of your heart. If something looks good to you, pursue it, but know also that not just anything goes. You have to answer to God for every last bit of it. Live footloose and fancy free. You won't be young forever. Youth lasts about as long as smoke. That difficult reality check in the midst of, yes, some very song-like expression. That's it for today. We'll be back with you tomorrow as we start chapter 12, and we will see you then. Have a great day. Bye-bye.